Hello!
Hi.
This is Paul and Jennifer from We Live Games. We just got done watching episode 8, season finale of Wheel of Time. And I'm going to say that this is probably the first episode where I was legitimately 100% shocked. There was a lot of stuff in this one. So if anybody's been waiting to watch me get angry at an episode, you're still not at one. Because I'm not mad at the episode at all. But either way, she's normally not in videos, but
Nope.
This is the season finale. So she figured she'd make it special. And she's also here to keep me from rambling. So I'm going to try to do my typical breakdown. Do you have any character that you want to talk about in particular before we get started?
Probably Perrin.
Okay, so you want to do Perrin's section?
Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna kind of break down exactly how we do, like I typically do on this channel, and we'll start. If you do enjoy my content, please feel free to like, subscribe, and everything else. Follow me on Twitch and other things along those lines. After the holidays, I will be back to streaming on a regular basis. But let's continue. So, cold open, we get Age of Legends, which was really cool. I sort of called that. We got to see Luz Theron arguing with his second, pretty much the Tamerlane, or the equivalent of the Armerlin at that time period, and they were discussing how they were going to seal the bore. And she warns him, saying, if you go and expose your power, then you will have your power, possibly compromised by the Dark One. And he is wanting to fix the problem, but he doesn't want to do it alone, but he's willing to do whatever needs to be done in order to accomplish his goal, which I really enjoyed the Old Tongue in this episode. I really enjoyed seeing them use the Old Tongue like a dialect. Watch some special features. They hired a dialect coach. They hired like all these people to teach them the Old Tongue, and apparently the original scene was filmed in English and then they switched it to Old Tongue and it clicked. So I really appreciate that, and we did get a shot of like classic sci-fi Age of Legends.
I like that.
Which was really cool. But past that, we move on to, we'll go in order pretty much of how the show went. Rand and Moraine traveling through the Blight, and Rand starts getting encountered by what he believes to be the Dark One. And it's almost like the show kind of was trying to be, I guess the word is meta, where it's like Rand shoots the guy with the arrow, and then he's like, this stupid face looks stupid, and he changed to normal. So... And I'm not sure, is that Steve? I haven't seen a picture of Steve in a very long time.
I don't know.
Is that not Steve?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe the theory's been that Steve is possibly a Shamael, but it wasn't Billy Zane.
No.
That makes some of us sad.
No Billy Zane.
No justice for Billy Zane in this episode, but that's fine. We also never get announced who this person is, who this entity is that Rand is talking to. In the special features, Rosamund Pike mentions that it's a Forsaken, but they don't ever say it's a Shamael, Ba'Azaman. They didn't say any of them. So that was a little surprising, that there was no formal announcement of his presence or what his name was. So maybe in the credits, maybe if you watch it with closed captions on, maybe it'll say, but I haven't gone back and rewatched the episode yet. But past that, we have Rand, Moraine going through. Rand starts having conversations in dreams. We see a visual shot of Moraine dying, and then Rand tries to kill himself to wake up, and he wakes up. And then we encounter the Eye, and the Eye is nothing like what it is described in the books. There's no Green Man, which I did call. I said they're probably not going to do a Green Man.
No.
Because, again... the point of the Eye that they have done in this episode is completely different than the Eye that they did in the books. While the Eye in the books is a pool of Sidene, in this episode, the Eye is pretty much a seal on the Dark One's prison.
No dragon banner.
No dragon banner in this entire episode. And there's no Horn of Valyr there, but it's totally somewhere else. And we'll move past that because I guess we can do you want to do the conflict with him right then, or do you want to go in show order? Okay, so past that we cut to Lan being frustrated about the fact that he cannot find Moraine. Nynaeve pretty much discloses that she figured out how to track Moraine, teaches Lan how to track Moraine, and sends him on his merry way after they have their goodbyes. But I think something happened. He did the thing. What was the thing?
He quoted the books, and he did what I call his poetry, and
It's not what you call his poetry. It's in the books. They say poetry.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
It was beautiful.
So she was pretty much bouncing on the floor, hyperventilating. I thought she was honestly about to have a stroke. Like, it was insane how excited she was for this particular scene.
I've been waiting for it.
I was a little upset he didn't give Nynaeve the ring. But that's okay. So pretty much Nynaeve and Egwene start chilling on the balcony, and Nynaeve says that since she channeled, she hasn't been able to listen to the wind, and it bothers her, but Egwene can listen to the wind, and Egwene listens and hears a scream compared to the whisper that they heard in the Two Rivers. And we get a revelation from Agomar, we get a revelation from Lady Amalisa. I really hope I'm saying her name right.
I think that's right.
Anyway, from Agomar and his sister, pretty much that there must be dark friends in the Fal Dara keep, because there's no way that their scouts would not have detected an entire force of Trollocs coming at the gates. And Agomar suits up. They have a tiff about armor and how a certain armor will protect them, and yada yada. It's very Eastern, which is fine. And Agomar wants to wear his armor, and he goes off into battle. But at the same time, Agomar's sister calls out for a call for all women who can channel in the city, even if they can channel a trickle to defend the city, assuming that the walls get breached. And Nynaeve and Egwene get tossed up in that, along with a Valkyrie woman and a Shienaran woman that all go to the front lines of the fortress. Also, there's a call for all able-bodied women to defend the fort. This is actually not, and for those of you that are going to scream, oh, feminism, blah, 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 why are they putting this, feminist agenda? Sorry, Shienaran women fight. It's actually very well established in the books that the Borderland women will fight us and pick up a weapon as often as the men. So this is not, the men go to the front lines, the women hold the rear guard. This is a perfectly normal thing in the Borderlands because they're used to Trolloc raids. So anybody complaining, it wasn't, all the super femme women that wanted to, load a catapult or a ballista. No, that's normal. But we also see men dipping. We did get a small scene of men in the books where Nynaeve, Egwene, Loyal, and Perrin all go to confront Min to ask what she told them, and she says their secrets are their secrets. You don't get to know their secrets without them giving me permission to tell you their secrets, which is an interesting thing, because typically if you bullied men in the books, she would tell you kind of what you saw after a while. But aside from that, she sees
Nynaeve dying.
Yes, she sees Nynaeve dying, and she also sees soldiers dying, but we don't see any visions for Loyal, and we don't see any visions for Egwene. And then they hear about the Trolloc raids, and they go to do things, and then we get to kind of I guess you could say, the short end of the episode for our protagonists, which is Perrin. And I'm gonna let you kind of take the lead on what happened with Perrin, or at least give your opinions on it, because the way that it goes with Perrin is Perrin doesn't want to fight. He wants to do the Way of the Leaf, and he's angry because he can't do anything. And he has a conversation with Loyal. Loyal states, all you have to do is ask what you can do. It's a very Loyal thing to say, but it's really strange to see that we have, Wolf Brother potential. Again, I didn't have any fear for him because of the in-show canon, where Min says, what I see comes true, and she saw Perrin with golden eyes. He doesn't have golden eyes yet, therefore he can't die. So,
I think my aggravation with it is we know he has inner turmoil about fighting and about picking up axes and about picking up stuff because of what happened with Layla. But the fact that he does pick up an axe against Padan Fain when they have their little discussion, and Padan Fain goes on about why he was going to the Two Rivers for as many years as he did.
Yep.
But he doesn't use it because I don't think he wants to feel the way he did. He doesn't want to have that bloodlust again, or whatever it was that stopping him from using the axe. But that was the only thing that really kind of bothered me, because he stood there and he saw Loyal die.
Yeah,
you would think that would piss him off enough to do something.
No more free stars, Rafe. If you killed Loyal, no more free stars.
Right?
It doesn't mean that I dislike the episode. Again, so
I love the episode.
I mean, it's a show, right? It's not my books. If I want to go back and read the books, I'll read the books. Mm-hmm. But the point that I want to get, what she's leading into is that he sees Padan Fain, chases Padan Fain, sees a bat, gets scared, runs away, and then he comes back into the room because they've been trying to break open the stone beneath the chair that Agomar was sitting in. And apparently Uno and Totally Not Ingtar were cracking the stone because the Horn of Valyr's under there. Mm-hmm. So again, this does detract from the books, where the Horn of Valyr is in the Eye of the World, which is supposed to be a giant pool of Sidene, which it's not, and blah, blah, blah. There's no dragon banner, any of that. And Padan Fain has snuck into Fal Dara Keep using a password that he got clearly from a dark friend. Mm-hmm. And he has 2 Fades with him, and they have killed, based on what it looks like, they have killed Uno. So Uno's dead. And Loyal's dead.
Not Agomar.
And Totally Not Ingtar. And Loyal are apparently dead.
All dead.
Again, we don't know how tough Loyal is, so maybe Loyal's okay. But he got stabbed, and they did that whole like wrenching the blade to try to kill him faster or whatever. But again, Loyal's no gear, so we don't know how that works. Maybe he's immortal, who knows, because we're in a whole nother turning. But the point is that Padan Fain then gets to go into his soliloquy. He gets to go into why he was in the 2 rivers, why he was there. It's the Taviran, same thing Moraine saw, blah, 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 what his lord saw. And he just picks up the Horn of Valyr and just walks out.
Peace.
So Perrin is just kind of chilling there with an axe because he picks up the axe, and Padan Fain pretty much calls him out and says, see, so quick to choose violence. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of out of place. But also, he mentions that all 5 of you have a part to play, and it cuts into Matt in Tarvalin looking like, he's fresh.
He's sick again.
Fresh, raised from death or whatever, and they don't do anything with Matt there. So, and he looks at the White Tower, and it kind of looms on that shot for a second. No dialogue, no anything, no clue. Mm-hmm. So, again, we have a mystery with Matt. We have Perrin being not super active in this. And then we have the girls. So we have Egwene and Nynaeve, along with the Valkyrie woman, the Shienaran woman, and Agomar's sister. Because Agomar got impaled by a spear, and apparently Agomar's dead. So again, we have Uno, Totally Not Ingtar, Loyal, and Agomar are dead in this episode, which, whoa, again, not bad, just where are we going to go from here? Because some of these characters matter later. And the guy who was playing Uno was so jazzed online. So, I mean, was he jazzed for 2 episodes and doing this? But I don't know. But either way,
we did get more book curses.
We did get more book curses. Thank you, Uno. We appreciate you, Uno, for having the books of a bloody shepherd's backside or whatever you said. But anyway, so we move on to the women. So the women, once they breach the gate, have decided to she doesn't link with them. So this is really strange, is that they didn't do a link like where the Aes Sedai went whoosh in the with the thing. They did her just channeling through them, which is like treating them like an Angreal, which again, it may be her being untrained, and just trying to reach out through them. It was a little strange to see Nynaeve just kind of surrender in this way, because it's not something that she normally does. But you see the scope of the strength that just Egwene and Nynaeve can pull in, because Moraine clearly stated before, you weren't strong enough to become an Aes Sedai. And that was to Agomar's sister in the previous episode. So now we have all of this, this giant wave of power just destroys all the Trollocs coming at them, and the whole threat is pretty much resolved at that point. We don't have to have Rand showing up through teleportation like he did in the books and blow up everything. No, we don't have to deal with that. But at the end, I'm already getting the body count here, right? Like, we're at 4 people that are dead, allegedly, in this episode. And we're about to get a 5th because Nynaeve starts to burn out, and Nynaeve starts to burn in her eyes, and Nynaeve.
Well, first the other lady.
Yeah, we see. Yeah, we see the Valkyrie and the Shienaran woman pretty much fall over with their skulls burned out, and then Nynaeve starts to burn as well, and she it looks like she heals Egwene of the problem, and then she quotes the whole "hold this braid," another callback to episode 1, which was good.
Which is really
and
funny.
and she dies, kind of.
On top of Egwene.
On top of Egwene. And I was like, they just killed Nynaeve. Okay, so, again, not angry at the story. I'm just thinking in my head, where do we go from here? Like, how do you kill Nynaeve in this episode? That doesn't make sense. And I can't wait to see my friend's reaction to this, because he already has said that he wants to marry Nynaeve and Zoe Robson, both of them. So when he sees her burn out, it's going to be very interesting. But past that, we're going to get to Rand with the eye. So they did some very cool stuff in this episode. With how they did the dream sequences. I really enjoyed those. And when Rand gets to the eye looks like the ancient symbol for Aes Sedai. Again, I thought that Rafe had said that by the end of season 1 we would hear the words Saidin and Saidar. And we never heard the words Saidin and Saidar. So we do see the classic symbol of the male and female halves. This is one of those interesting things, though. Before they get to the eye, Rand says, "What's your plan?" to Moiraine, because he says you always have a plan inside of a plan inside of a plan, which is a clever line. I liked that. And Moiraine hands him a Saw Angreal. Now, either Saw Angreal are universal catch-alls that she knew it was going to be a man from the very beginning, or it's one or the other. Either they're universal and usable by both men and women, or they are catch-alls, or she knew it was going to be a man from the beginning. So, because she hands Rand a Saw Angreal and says, "Here you go. Whenever you get there, you'll channel instinctively, and you channel through this and destroy him." Which, smart idea, kind of. Except if it was Egwene and it's Saidin, then you can't use that. But again, that's book lore, so we don't know. Again, we don't know if it's a universal power, but that kind of breaks down bits of the lore, but then we also don't know. Again, I like to go with the opinion of where do we go from here in the story. And what happens is, every time I lean my head up, my light gets brighter. I apologize. But what ends up happening is Rand wakes up in a home in the Two Rivers with Egwene and a baby. And it's almost like an amalgamation of what they did with Egwene's testing, because in Egwene's testing, she had to go through her lives and potential things, and she saw her baby and Rand becoming her husband and all that.
That's
and
exactly what
that,
I thought of
when
that scene popped up.
So again, it's leading into this whole world of dreams, and we do get that sequence that was really interesting, where everybody froze. Like, even the baby froze. How'd you do that? But unless it was a dummy, which it was a really good dummy if it was a dummy. But wow, that baby held its hand still. But there's ways to do it with camera tricks and all that stuff. But the point is that we have, unnamed Forsaken telling Rand that he can have this world, that he can have this thing that he wants. All he has to do is channel the power and reach out through her and, get whatever he wants. And as this is going on, Moiraine is trying to wake him up, and apparently the Forsaken pops up, and Moiraine tries to channel at him and hold him at bay with spears of air, because her life's not in danger yet. So again, this is the oaths holding her to her thing. That's why she didn't just decapitate him right there, because again, one, she knows she can't kill him, and two, she can't fight him unless he threatens her, which he wasn't threatening her directly, and it wasn't in, maybe you could argue, fear of her own life, but when it comes down to it, he stills her.
What?
That, initially, I thought it was just a shield. A shield. I thought he had just put a shield on her and said, "Look, you can sense the source, but you can't touch it anymore." But I didn't realize he had just stilled her. And also, they're doing this weird, aesthetic thing for people in the Age of Legends. They have this weird, gold, brass, and totally not brass knuckles thing that they wear as a thing. So, I don't know exactly what that was about, but that's cool. But he stills Moiraine. Just stills her. She pulls out a knife and threatens to kill Rand.
Did not like that.
I'm gonna kill him if he chooses the dark. And so he's kind of at bay, and I know that, some people would say, well, wouldn't he just, kill her and then she'd drop the knife? Well, she also might impulsively slit his throat. So, it's a Mexican standoff type thing. And so all this is going on, and Rand channels and destroys the Dark One. at least that's what he tries to do.
We know as channeling in the dream world.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's gonna like succumb to it. He's
gonna choose the dark.
He's gonna choose the dark because he's asking Egwene how long we've lived here, and he's questioning everything. And
they gave him a little thing carved in the tree. That's nice of them.
Yeah, that was cute.
Our place.
Right.
So now we have to carve that in our house.
No, we're good.
Okay, we're not gonna carve it in our house.
But no, and then you just see the what do they call it? Not the taint anymore.
The corruption.
The corruption.
Yes.
Start taking over, but you see him pull out little
the totally universal saw Angreal.
And it's glowing, so you know something's going on, and all of a sudden, boom, he's awake.
And he blasts totally not Forsaken, totally Forsaken guy in the face, and the seal underneath him cracks. And as soon as that cracked, I was like, that's the Dark One's seals. Mm-hmm. So I get how they did that. Yeah, that was cool. But the problem is then Rand says, tell everybody I died. Mm-hmm. And we do get a very cool thing in terms of foreshadowing where we see Rand looking at the spine of the world, which means he might be going to the Aiel Waste because he's trying to find whoever his origin is from. Because of the whole Aiel thing, maybe he was reading books. I don't know where. Early, well, I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah. I mean, again, he's looking at the spine of the world. He wasn't looking at, Thakandar. He was looking at the spine of the world. Yeah. It was very clear. And Moraine is stilled, and Lan finds her. And Lan asks her to unmask the bond, and she says that she can't, and Moraine breaks down. In the special features, they pretty much state that they're trying to build up Rosamund Pike's character for Season 2. Mm-hmm. And so they're taking away something to give her a journey in Season 2, which I think is probably a good idea, but it's strange because it's different. Now, if this is being done to replace what happens in the books where she goes through the twisted door frame, then that's interesting because it keeps her in the show and it also can accelerate that plot a little bit. But end of episode, we also get the Seanchan. She didn't like him. I like him. She didn't like him.
I pictured him. No, I love their boats. Boats
are cool. I like the face paint.
The face paint.
She didn't like the Damani's mouth thing, I betcha.
I didn't like the armor.
Well, it looks like bugs.
I know, but I don't know.
I didn't see Rockin'. I was upset.
Right?
I want to see Rockin'.
I don't know. I'll have to rewatch it. I think it was more of a shock than a not like. I'm going to have to rewatch it.
I'm waiting for the memes that say Seanchan sees tiny girl on beach, channels tidal wave. Like, it's a big statement with how they're introducing the Seanchan, which is cool. And I was hoping we were going to get a tease of them, at least at the end of the episode. We did get a tease.
We would.
I thought it would possibly be a post-credit scene or something, but no, it's just right there. It's like, by the way, Western Shore, here you go. We have boats. They make tidal wave. They use women that can channel. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a problem. The world does not stop moving because the eye of the world and blah, blah, blah. So
someone pointed out no leashes.
Yeah, there were no leashes. But again, it's even established in the books very early on by Elaine that the leash is superfluous. It doesn't matter. I do think it's interesting because the plates that they put in front of the Damani's mouths, it looked like pacifiers to me. Like when I first looked at it, which again, I can understand why they're doing it to silence a Damani, because again, pretty much any time that a Damani talks in the books, it's kind of annoying because it just kind of re-emphasizes their level of torture. And they always cry and say, please, 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 leash me. And it's like, again, they may be doing it as a narrative choice. They may be doing it as an aesthetic choice. It could be anything. But again, it's how do you eat? Right. And it's just kind of one of those things. I don't know how they're going to approach it, but it is interesting to see that they did tease the Seanchan. So
I hope we open up season 2 with more of the Seanchan. Like, that's my hope. Like, where we pick up. Yeah. Or if Rand on his journey or something. That's where I hope we pick up.
Yeah, I kind of want them to just pick up anywhere but with our main cast, actually. That's what I hope. I hope that we get the first couple episodes. So we're going to get into, like, let's do our reactions. Like, I don't do star ratings. I joke about the loyal star ratings, but he got killed this episode. We will put the star ratings in a box and leave it in the side until season 2 premieres. But no, so I want to do predictions after we do initial reactions. So okay, so to be blunt, I see this being a 50-50 split between the communities of everybody. I don't see book purists happy at all. No. Or it's going to go like this. So it's either going to be book purists are not happy or book purists are laughing. Because the book purists seem to be the most difficult in the community to deal with when it comes to appreciation of the show.
I don't think they're going to be happy at all.
I think that they're going to be happy that the people that have been defending the show look like they have egg on their face. I think that's going to happen. Okay. I think that they're going to be like mocking the fact that we've appreciated the show up until this point and we've appreciated changes. And they're going to be like, see, they did this. See, they did this. We have a book purist friend.
Yeah.
And he's going to be either hysterically annoying or he's going to say it still sucked. So
he's going to be negative either.
Yeah, that's going to be
negative this.
That's going to be one of the camps. You're going to have the people that are excited about the show that are saying, you know, I'm happy to see what happened, but I'm scared to see where it goes because I don't know what's going to happen again. And then you're going to have people like me that are right in the middle that don't care. It's just happy to see new eyes on the product, happy to see new things going on. And you're either going to have them like me, where I can appreciate things but try to figure out where we're moving towards. And you're going to have people that have been like me in the past that are going to have knee-jerk, frustrated reactions to this. I think that if anything, they have polarized the audience a lot with this episode. But I can see repercussions. But again, it's one of those things, and I know in like 15 minutes from now, we're going to have Sanderson watching it live with Matt Hatch. On Dusty Wheel, and I'm really curious because Sanderson has been very positive about the show to the extent where bigger streamers have even acknowledged that he's more positive on the show than they have been on the show, and he's directly involved with it in the respect that he gives them advice on the show.
Yep.
But I will say to anybody out there, give us your theories on the next season, because I hope that we get more than 8 episodes in the next season, but I want to know, I want to see if they're going to accelerate Rand's plot going into the Waste. I want to see what happens with
Matt.
Did I say Moraine? I meant Rand's plot. But I want to see what happens with Matt. I want to see what happens with Moraine.
I want to see what happens with Loyal.
I want to see what happens with Loyal, because if Loyal's dead...
No.
He talks so good. Don't kill him, Amazon.
I hope that they flesh out Perrin.
I hope that they flesh him out, too.
A lot.
I would not put it past them putting Perrin into the Way of the Leaf camp 100%. I could see them, if they kept writing it the way that they're writing it, Perrin will become the Mahdi of the Way of the Leaf eventually, which is the leader of them, which is what the woman is in this, but also Rain in the books.
But then that kind of messes up.
Well, I think that he'll be pursuing it until something puts him past the point. Because one of the big driven character narratives of Perrin is him realizing that violence is not necessary. Violence is not necessary, but when it is necessary, it is necessary. So, like, that's Perrin's entire character, is that he doesn't wish to do violence, but he will do violence if it's what is needed. So that is Perrin into a T. But overall, I mean, I say thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, I'm just excited because we do get brooding Rand. We get, Min being cat-like, where she disappears and gets away from everybody. We have my child deciding to come over and say hello. What was your thoughts? Hang on, wait. We have one more last. Come here, Tiny Wheel of Games. Come here, Tiny Wheel of Games. This is my oldest son. Come over into frame, boy. Son, I'm recording. I only have so much time. So this is my Tank Top Taylor. Squat, boy. What did you think of the episode? He's read books 1 through 4. Come on, honest thoughts right now. I have like 30 seconds.
It's bad.
Loyal died. It's bad. Okay. And did you have a favorite part of the episode?
When Loyal died.
When Loyal...
What?
Oh, not when Loyal
He's
died,
trolling
Padan
me.
Fain. Padan Fain.
When Padan Fain... Oh, when Padan Fain
He was
entered?
funny.
He was funny.
He was-
He
Okay.
kind of showed up.
All right, so I'm going to wrap up. You go ahead. Go
Bye,
on.
bud. Say bye.
All right, so he waved, kind of. Anyway, so that's going to be the season finale recap review of Wheel of Time.
You didn't do the predictions, though.
Predictions for what, season 2?
Yeah.
Rand in the Waste. Okay, these will be mine, then you do yours.
Okay.
Rand in the Waste. Perrin becomes the Mahdi of the Way of the Leaf. Perrin goes back and finds all the Tinkers. Matt tries to kill Suan. And
Okay.
yeah, and let's see. Gawain is dreamy and Galad is ugly.
What is wrong with you?
What? Why can't I?
Okay.
What? Okay. And Lan is Nynaeve tries to heal Stilling very early.
I will agree with that one.
Maybe. Okay, so you give 5 predictions for season 2.
5. Okay.
Pretty much each of the characters. Oh, I didn't mention Egwene. Egwene becomes a new Amerlin because Matt kills Suan.
Now you're
Stabs
being
her in the
silly.
throat.
Now you're being silly.
Okay, he's sent to kill her and he gets healed and that's why he turns into Donald.
Yes.
Anyway.
I think we're gonna see Matt get healed, turn into Donald, since the whole recasting. I think somehow Moraine might get healed from her stilling, but I think it's gonna be Nynaeve or Egwene, or both of them trying to heal her. I think we might see Aiel more, but I'm not too big
got
of a
Aiel in
fan of
season
that
1.
I know, but I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay.
And I think Perrin goes back home.
You think he's gonna go back home right away?
I don't know. I think so.
What if he travels to Saldea and finds Fail?
You really think? I don't know. Fail hasn't been.
And he'll be like, whoa, she's so pretty.
No.
And Fail looks just like Layla, and it's actually the same actress.
That's
It's
not funny.
It's her secret twin sister.
That's not funny.
This is now a soap opera. Anyway.
Okay.
So this is not normally how I do my videos, but I'm trying something different. Either way.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm gonna have to rewatch it. Gonna have to get used to the changes. But definitely a really great ending for the most part.
I think it established a lot more questions than it answered, which is good for a TV show.
Yep.
But I think that if I was waiting, honestly, final bit, I was waiting for what happened to Nynaeve to happen to everybody.
The healing?
Yep. I was waiting for
Yeah.
Rand to just kind of
show up and be like,
warp
hey,
reality
guys.
because he's Rand
Yep.
and everybody just come back to life.
That's what I thought.
Or, pull a Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 and everything was a dream from the beginning.
No.
Yes, come on. This is the best part of the whole movie series. Anyway, so we've gone on for 33 minutes.
We could go on longer.
You want to go on longer?
No.
Let's go on longer.
But
I'd get you a hat.
I want a hat.
I know.
But no, I'm just excited. I'm hoping that they give us more episodes in season 2 and more after that if we can.
Yep.
But I'm just excited to see where everything is going to take us. They should be, I'm going to assume, maybe halfway through filming.
I think they're
season
over
2.
halfway through. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully, not a year's wait in between. That'd be exciting.
Yep. So this is a beefy video, and we're going to upload it all because it's our candid reactions. This is only take 2. We did good. Anyway, so all right. So we'll see you guys
Bye,
later.
everybody.
Smash to white now. Okay.
What?
All right.
No.
I don't know. Bye.
Bye.